Hey there, friends. Here's a brief video that deals with an arrangement I wrote of the John Denver song, Leaving on a Jet Plane. It's a great, great song, and it's not that difficult to play, really, so I'm excited to share it with you. And I have some notes that I want to share with you as well about how to play this arrangement. Why don't I start by playing it? I'll actually save my crib notes over here on the side, but I'll play it and then I can kind of unpack and explain how I wrote it and also what will be helpful, I think, for you to keep in mind as you play it. My hands, by and large, remain in G position. So most of this, that's my first little hint to you, most of this is for certain in G position. So here's how it sounds. Here's the second line of music. And here's the pickups to the melody, pickups to 13. Repeat sign. Here's the second ending, friends, second ending. Here's the third page. And there's a DS here that brings you back to measure 13. You will see the sign there, so that you can do the verse and the preamble to the chorus and the chorus again and again and again. When you get to that point, friends, at the very, very end, I suppose that's measure 62. The third page at the very, very bottom of the page where it has this. If you're ready to end the song, don't play the pickup notes that are printed there and simply go right to skip over them and go right to that last measure where the fermatas are. So here's a few things there's a number of things I wanted to say, so I wrote them down, and I hope perhaps you'll take a pencil or a highlighter or something, and on your music you can actually make note of these things, highlight them or circle them, just to remember them. So the first thing is, when complete triads or dominant chords are used, I'm using the standard 1-4-5-7 fingering that you would find in many different publications. So that's the first thing. If you look at the entire piece of music, all 3 pages, and you look in the left hand, if you see at least 3 notes, a triad, or possibly 4 notes, that would be a dominant chord, we're going to use and favor the same fingerings. Let's take a quick peek at that. So this is 5-3-1. Here I am in G position. I'm playing a G chord, the tonic chord, 5-3-1. Oftentimes when you and I move to the 4 chord or to the C chord, we use 5-2-1, 5-2-1. So 5-3-1, 5-2-1. Back to 5-3-1. For the dominant chord, which you'll find at the bottom of page 1, and you'll find it at the bottom of page 2, and at the bottom of page 3, we're using almost all hands on deck here. So this is 5, 4, 2, and 1. 5 on F sharp, 4 on A, 2 on C, and 1 on D. And that will get us through those chords, those complete chords. So lastly, the only thing that is different about that 5-3-1 is that sometimes the left hand plays the melody. So if you'll note at measure 13, you'll find an incomplete G chord, right? It's just the G and the D. There's no B in the middle. But I'm using 5 and 2. Notice how your second finger is stretching for that D. Right? I'm using that second finger on D so that I can actually use my thumb on the E. That type of sound. That's the first thing I wanted to make note of. I have a few other thoughts here. Let's see. At measure 45, that's at the bottom of page 2. Do you see there's a 4 written there, fourth finger on that D? If you and I are in G position, our fifth finger is usually on D. But make note of that 4 on D so that you can play the remainder of the chorus. Right? I'm leaving on, and I've got my fifth finger ready for that E. So that's my second point there. I do want to say there's no pedal markings that are listed here. I kind of use the pedal about every 2 bars, sometimes every 4 measures, especially at the bottom of the page. And also the lyrics, I only wrote the first verse and the chorus, but I know there's a lot more lyrics. I just, for cleanliness of the page and just for the notes, I chose to not write in all those lyrics. But feel at liberty to sketch those in or to sing along if you know the lyrics. And the same with articulations. I didn't take the time to sort of clutter the page with all kinds of articulations, dynamics, crescendos, diminuendos, that type of stuff. Suffice it to say, most of this should just be played in a legato fashion, in a very smooth fashion. I mentioned the DS at the end. That's good. I'll put my notes away. Let's take a peek at the very beginning, the first part, the introduction. I'm in G position, friends. But right out of the gate, in the very first measure, I'm taking my left hand and stretching my 2 and my 1. So I've got that 5-2 G to D. And the aggregate of those, the culmination of those, creates that beautiful G chord. Isn't that lovely? Stay in that same position, 5-1. So I've got G, E, G, C, and I'm creating a C chord. It's an inversion, but it's a C chord. So I've got that lovely G chord in the first 2 bars. Those 4 notes, you can see them illuminated on the page. And then 5-1, 1-4, G, E, G, C to get the C chord. Same as measures 5 and 6, 7 and 8. 9, and measure 10 goes immediately to the C chord and then back. Here's the melody, right hand, pickups to 13. Okay, so these hands at this point are going to actually work together. So I've got my 5 and my 2 again. Forgive me. Now your left hand takes over with the melody. 2-1. 1s and 2s. 2-1-1-1-2. And that's it. That's essentially it for the whole verse. 2-1-1. 1-2. Here's that C chord with the left hand. Again, 5-2-1. And you'll see an arpeggiation in slow motion there at the bottom of the page. F sharp, A, and then the top 2. And here's the next page, 5-5. Your left hand's just going back and forth between a G chord and a C chord. And there's that D7 chord again. And here's the only tricky thing, 4th finger on D. Then reset your right hand for G position. And then you can end it if you wish there, or you can take the repeat, whichever you prefer. I hope you have a lot of fun playing this. I had a lot of fun playing it just now, and I hope that those notes help you too.